Here's how to complete every Aeserion the Great Serpent faction quest in Crimson Desert. This takes place in Delecia. Is going to be just between Delecia and Hernand on this small island. It's going to be directly south of Demenis. Now once you get here, you will find some enemies on the edge of the island, and you have to use nature snare and then nature retribution to instantly kill a large amount of them at once. Using nature snare will also block the projectile that they shoot at you, and you don't want to get too close to them, because once you get to a certain distance, they will begin to target you and then shoot these projectiles at you. So you want to keep some distance. Now once you kill the enemies on this side, there's going to be some more on the other side, so I recommend you kill all of them before you head to the island in the middle to speak with the Serpent. You'll have to make your way on this large pedestal right here with the stairs, and then just stand on top, and a Serpent will begin to speak to you, and he will give you a mission, which consists of defeating 3 enemies: Priscus the Ancient, Praevus the Ancient, and Primus the Ancient. Primus the Ancient will be the first one you want to fight. He will be found pretty close, and if you walk towards the location marked on the map that shows you where he is, he might attack you on the way there. You have to run away, don't try to fight him yet, because if you fight him outside this location, he will just disappear before you get to defeat him. So first you have to head over to the marked location, and then a boss fight will begin, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to defeat this boss. As soon as the boss fight starts, you want to enter focus mode, use nature snare right away in order to block his attack. Now he has mostly projectile attacks, except for that one attack, which is a area of effect attack. So for that attack you need to dodge. Once he does an attack, he will reposition and then do another attack, so always be ready to use nature snare to block the projectiles and then reflect them back onto him. And like before, he will reposition and then he will do another attack right there. That is a melee attack, which is also something that you have to dodge, but you can also block it with nature snare. So as you can see, you can use nature snare to block these attacks, which are not projectiles, but you have to make sure you are moving when you do it. So as you can see, you can block the damage, and you can also use nature snare and then force palm to do a lot of yellow bar damage. Now here nature snare and then nature retribution to reflect it back onto him, and then immediately go back into focus mode. Prepare nature snare when you see the projectile, wait for him to launch it, and then reflect it back into the enemy, and you just have to keep repeating this until you fill up the yellow bar. Now when you fill up the yellow bar, he will come down on the ground, and you'll be able to do some heavy attacks. You'll be able to do turning slash for a lot of damage at once, and then once you do turning slash, his yellow bar will go back to 0, and then you just have to keep repeating the same strategy you used so far, which is nature snare, waiting for the projectiles. If he's close to the ground, then you can use force palm in order to do a lot of yellow bar damage. Another way to do a lot of damage is by using your bow. You have to have focused shot, which allows you to enter focus mode while aiming your bow, and then you'll be able to shoot a lot of arrows at once. So as you can see, it does a lot of damage, and especially a lot of yellow bar damage. So this is going to allow you to do a lot of damage on the enemy very easily. And the trick of this fight is just to have patience and pay attention, and then once you defeat the boss, you will obtain this Sage's Eye, which increases the speed with which you can gather knowledge. Then the second boss you have to fight will be Praevus the Ancient. He's going to be in Crimson Desert. You're going to need this armor. I have a link in the description of this video for how to get it, and you're going to find him just here next to Tashkalp. Is going to be marked on your map. Now I'm going to show you the trick to defeating this enemy really easily. So like before, this enemy will launch a bunch of projectiles at you, or he might even use area of effect attacks from the ground, you just have to dodge those. And if he uses projectiles, you have to use nature's snare to reflect them back onto him. Now the trick here is that if you step inside the arena, you will need about 10 or 15 fire resistance, or else you will burn, and you will not be able to keep up with nature's snare. You will not be able to dodge. But if you step just outside this arena, just on this spot that I'm standing here, um, you will not trigger the message that you are leaving the boss fight, and you will also not be in a zone that's hot enough to burn you. So the trick here is just to stand slightly outside the arena while using your bow to deal damage, or nature's snare to block his projectiles and reflect them back onto him. So this is right here, this is the best spot to sit in, and like before, focus shot is the best way to deal damage. And remember nature's snare to reflect the projectiles onto him, and look at that damage. And you have to keep repeating this until the boss is defeated. For the last boss, I have a different video with a different guide, so I'm just going to leave the link in the description on how to defeat the boss in the Spire of Ringing Truth. And then once you defeat all 3 bosses, just come back to the island and make sure to defeat the enemies around, the ones that are shooting the rocket launchers, because they will target you if they are alive. Once you go back to the island, the quest objective will be to cleanse the cores that are binding Aeserion. So in order to do that, you'll have these 3 large screws on his back, and if you can use charge shot to break them. And as you can see, the snake right now has this electricity around itself, and this means you cannot climb it when you see this electricity. Instead, what you have to do is you have to wait for the electricity to go away in order to climb it, and then you'll have to use force palm on that core inside after you have broken it with either charging shot or turning slash, but only if there is no electricity around the snake. You can also try to use focused force palm from far away, but as you can see, I am a little too far. The easiest way is to simply step onto the snake when there is no electricity around. So just step on his back and then use turning slash or charge slot to break the screw, and then enter focus mode and use focused force palm on until you see the yellow shine, and that's when you can break the core. So that's 1 out of 3, and then you just have to do this on the remainder 2 cores. Once you break all 3 of them, you will have a short cutscene, and then the quest will be completed. You will wake up somewhere on a beach, and you will obtain a Syrian sword, and also you'll be able to go back to the island. The snake will be gone, and you'll be able to also collect some Aeserion scales from this island. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, leave a like or subscribe for more.